Pinkvilla, this is Avantika Dassani and get ready with me for a long day of interviews and brunch. Okay, so it's kind of that time of the month where my moods and my skin feels a little bit bumpy. So skin prep has been done, a lot of extra skin prep has been done. It's also like shadi season, so there has been a lot of late nights and butter naan, which I need to compensate for. So we're gonna go a little heavier than usual on the makeup, but that's just because it makes me feel nice and I feel bright and I feel, well taken care of, even on days that I'm not completely well taken care of, right? So let's get it right into it. Okay, so first of all, I love using these crocodile clips. I actually love using them now on a regular day, whether I'm getting ready, whether I have makeup on my face or not, because I've kind of realized I think it's a little bit of a life hack. I do not like having makeup on, I don't like having hair on my face. So it keeps the hair off my face. It also stops it from tugging over here, which is a great hack for all of those with receding hairline issues. So yeah, it's one of those protective styles. I do look like a bit of a clown with this, I won't lie, but well, we'll do anything to like take care of all of this, won't we? Okay, another thing that I usually love doing is having a playlist ready. So if I need to get into a pumpy mood, there'll be some Diljit Dosanjh, there'll be some Rihanna, there'll be some Beyonce and all of that in there. Okay, so now, like I said, there have been late nights, so we're gonna prep our skin well after all your creams and stuff. I'm gonna start with my primers. So for the bumpiness, I like to start off with a pore perfecting primer. And sorry, clumsy. So I like to use a pore perfecting primer everywhere where I have like large pores. That's usually the T-zone. And just kind of nicely blend it right in there. And then I have a double primer game, okay, where I like to use, this has been quite a game changer for me. It's the peptide glazing fluid. I mix some of that with a bit of a Wonder Glow primer. While a pore perfecting primer will give you that matte effect, I usually like to go in with this for a nice glow. And this goes sort of all over, right? Because you want to have glow all over the face, and I think that helps with, like I said, the bumpy mood and the bumpy skin. And so a lot of the stuff that I know about makeup has actually come from the various makeup artists that I work with. My first introduction to makeup and makeup artists was through Danny Dada. He was my mom's long-time makeup artist, and I remember I used to get so excited because he would walk in with this vanity box, and I was a really small girl, and I used to see this vanity box, and it would open up and it would have like one side of full products, one side of brushes, and just all of this in, and he would look like this really big serious man with a beard and a mustache, and had always a serious face, but he was the nicest person you could ever meet, and he always was so happy about me coming and playing with all of this stuff, and helping him set up while mom was prepping and getting ready to sit down for her makeup. He would let me ask 5,000 questions and never had a problem. And yeah, Danny Dada was my first introduction. Danny Uncle, as I called him, was my first introduction to makeup, and I will always be thankful to him for that. Please be nice to me when you see this video and realize that I have done things that I don't know whether you'll approve of or not. But just be nice, be proud. Okay, so now we've gone in, and as you can see, it's already given this lovely little glow. And yeah, I like to dab it in with my hands because it gives you, it helps soak it up. I really like that. Okay, so what are we going with next? The under eyes. Now, these are a little extra steps that I do take because I get really bad dark circles. But there is a specific primer. It's a powder primer for the under eyes. And just like to set that in. This also kind of helps keep the eye makeup in place, which is lovely. Followed by, very important, color corrector. I have wheatish to medium tone skin, that's what I figured every time I'm buying makeup. And this is a really important step because it brightens the eye. It makes me look like I'm alive, that I'm not dying, that I am just fresh, you know. So I'm generous with my color corrector. And you can use this anywhere that you have sort of blemishes or pigmentation. Just a little bit on that, and it just gives you a really good base to work with. So we'll just go in with a little bit of that. Again, I dab it on with a brush, and then I follow it up with my finger. Again, this is like a pro tip that I've been given, is because it helps blend it out really well. And you got to use your ring finger, I think that's your ring finger, just so that they have like lightness to it, you know, so that you're not pressing on too hard. Okay, so we're gonna follow that up with, okay, this is a new thing that I'm trying on. Let's see if it works or not. I was gonna go with foundation, but I've been seeing all of these Instagram hacks where they go in with your contouring and your highlighter first, and then you do a layer of foundation just so that it gives a much lighter look. So I think that's appropriate for a whole day of meetings and then brunch and all of that. So let's give it a shot and see if this works. Okay, again, I like to go heavy on a contour because of the puffiness. I feel like it just gives my face a lot more chiseled look. It gives me a lot more angles, and that's something that I personally really like. So I start off with the ear, and we go on the chin, and then a little bit of a line right there. And then you nicely start blending this bit in, and then you mentally hope that you start looking like Deepika Padukone's jawline. Just keep, manifestation and those kind of thoughts in your head, hoping that it would work, that somehow this is gonna do that for you. But we'll give it a shot. We'll try, no? And yep. Okay, so probably not, but kind of makes me feel like that, maybe from the inside, right? So we'll take it. We'll take whatever we can get. Okay, so we went on with, okay, so I'm not going to do my nose right now. We're going to wait for the nose, but we did a little bit of the contour. Then we're going to add my favorite, which is highlighter. I love a good highlighter because I think I'm such a highlighter girl, and I feel like it just, again, brightens. I love this word, but just brightens everything up. And I just go heavy on the cheekbones, and then a dab in the nose, and then a dab right there. And then we blend it all in. Perfect. Honestly, if you're someone who hasn't had too many skin issues, then even this would pretty much be a good to go. But because, like I said, we're at the time of the month where the skin's not feeling all too good, we gotta cover it up with some foundation. But this helps making sure that I don't need a much heavier foundation base, right? And then we're just gonna do that. with a little foundation, and then I like to use a brush to start off with and then finish it off with a makeup sponge. But we'll start off with the brush. Ooh, see, the glow from the primer and the highlighter is really starting to work, I think, now with this that follows up. Am I getting approval? Since we have Pinkvilla's editor-in-chief with us right now, we must get approval on these looks as we go. I do not want to be cancelled, guys. So nicely finish it up, and then a little bit on the nose, a little bit on the eyes, neck. People keep forgetting, but your neck is really important, and a little bit behind the ears as well. Get all your angles right. Not too bad, huh? I'm not used to the small mirror situation, but I think it's working, guys. It's doing its job. We're there, we're getting there. Okay, now that we've gone with a nice layer of base in, I'd like to spray. I spray on a little bit of a fixing mix onto the sponge, and then I just dab that on because I don't like going fully with the makeup mist at the end, because then it becomes really sticky according to me, and I don't like having that. So just through the layer, and then with the sponge just kind of go all in with that. Right, and onto it now. Okay, so this is the part that I personally really enjoy, is going for eyeshadow. Okay, so now another trick that I've recently learned is that even when I'm doing a dual color for an eyeshadow, I'll pick something that's a light color for the day, even on the outside. So, and circular, round, small movements. That's another pro makeup tip that I have learned. Small, circular, round movements. So we go on with a lighter shade on the outside, and then we use smaller brush, flatter brush, and then I use a bit of a pop color, which I love, on the inside. So I like to do this linear lift and then follow that up with the small circular movements again. Blend, 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 and there we go. So the reason I learned to do this is because I have deep set eyes, and then when you use a dark color on the outside, it kind of pushes them more in, right? Which is not what we want to do. So that's the reason to use a lighter color, even for your outer shade, and then for your inner shade you use a popper color, just so that your eyes get that brightness again, and it gives you that pop, and you know the concentration is always on the eyes. That's where you want to draw it in. So linear lines to give you that lift, and then again blending it all in. A little bit of a dab of like a brightener right where your iris is. I have small eyes, so I love how this sort of elongates them and gives me the almond eye look. You know, I love that. Okay, so now that we're pretty much done with our eyeshadow, this is another thing that my makeup artist on my recent film taught me, is to use either you can use a white or a cream colored liner, or a creamy eyeshadow. So a creamy eyeshadow or a light colored liner. This goes under your eyes, in your waterline over here, again to open your eye up and sort of just give you that woken up fresh look, because otherwise the dark circles and the kajal actually make your eyes look smaller. So this is a great tip if you want to make your eyes look bigger, is And I would say not using a white, but using something that's more like a champagne tone. That's something that really does help. And then you use, so I like to use a mascara pencil to just give me right under my lashes a little bit of definition. So we don't go all the way, just on the outside till again your iris. So that just helps create a little more definition for your eyes and gives them that shape. And blend it all in. Okay. We're gonna skip the liner because we're gonna keep it easy and keep it for the day. So we're out with the liner, but mascara is super important. I love a good mascara because it just gives you that lift, that dramatic effect, makes you just look sexy all the time. Good mascara. I like to use it first in the sense of opening it all up with the base and then individual lashes like this in the center, just in my center to lift them up, and then on the side to give me a little winged look, right? So again, we'll go just horizontal for the whole lash, and then we'll go vertical just above your iris and on the side to give you a little wing look, right? You see how that does it? It just like, it's magic. I think if the one thing that I could just always use is mascara and I think concealer. Those are like two really important things for me. Okay, now we're done with this, and I like to finish it up with a brush just to give me that extra lift and even it out, you know, because I hate it when the mascara gets cloggy. So this is another really important step, I think, to give you that look. And then when you do this, you don't need false lashes, especially in the day. I think false lashes in the day just not a good look. So I'm gonna do that in there. What are we going with next? Okay, let's go in for the eyebrows. This is another important thing. Eyebrows are really important because I feel like it can completely change the look of your face. So when I did Mithya, we had to grow out the eyebrows because they wanted a really thick, bushy look. We actually had quite a problem about this because to maintain that bushy look I have big eyebrows, so it's easy to grow. But then to have that perfect look, we had to constantly sort of tweeze it and correct it and spend a good 15-20 minutes just to get my eyebrows right. And then right after that, the moment I went back to my normal eyebrow shape, my friends were just like, oh my God, you look so different. I was like, yeah, it's just the eyebrows. There's nothing else to that. And I do have a funny incident with this as well. So I've been somebody who's had a unibrow when I was a kid, as most of us have. But that was obviously something that I was conscious about and I didn't like. And so one day while we were on holiday, I think it was when we were on holiday or when we were at home, and I think my parents were on holiday, something like that, when basically my parents weren't around. I took the hair removal cream and I slapped it onto my eyebrows because I wanted better eyebrows. And then I took that out and then I had this big white patch of skin and it was just really badly done. And then I went out and I pretended like nothing has happened, and everyone's looking at me like, no one wants to say it, but they're just like, what have you done? And I was just like, yeah. And mom is just upset because she's like, what have you done? Where have you gone? How have you done this? And she's just getting all worried. And I was just like, yeah, I get teased about it and I get, made to feel all like a bit of a Mowgli because of my unibrow. And then she was like, okay, fine. we're gonna go to the parlor tomorrow and get proper eyebrows done for you and have that. But that was not a good idea. Guys, do not try to use hair removal creams, wheat, whatever it is, on your eyebrows. That is not something that you should do. It's like cutting your own bangs. Not a good idea either. So a little bit of fullness, just I like to put streaks right up to give you that, and then a little bit of rounding at the edges just to give you a softer look. If I'm going for a nighttime look, I'd like to give it a bit more of an arch or an edge, but because it's a daytime look, we're gonna give it a bit of a round. And I promise you, you will see that that just makes you look softer. And then again, follow that up with a bit of a brush to put it in place. And voila. Okay, what do we have left? Oh, another one of my shades. So a good blush is important, especially again for the day. I like to use it on my cheeks, the nose, a little bit on the chin, so you have an overall flushed look, right? And then we finish everything off with a powder primer. This is what I like because all of these products on your face can end up feeling a little sticky, you know, they can attract dust and dirt. So I like to finish the look off with powder so that I don't feel oily or greasy on my skin. And then it gives you a bit of that matte look as well. But I use actually a glow powder, but you can get a matte one to give you that final bit. So I do that, and then I go in with a lip pencil and a lip gloss. Yes, and I am one of those girls that always likes to line her lips. Again, it's all about definition. And gives you the perfect pout. And then we'll go with a bit of a gloss. Almost done. One really important step, personally for me, at any point of the day, night, is a good perfume. I love smelling nice. I love all things that smell nice. So add all the pulse points and just eat a little bit of it. Always makes me feel fresh, makes me feel nice. And I think perfume, I mean, obviously it's a good way for you to sort of greet others, but I think it's also about yourself. I love the idea of always smelling nice. It just makes me feel happy. So whether it's in the morning, it's in the night, even when I go to sleep, I have a special scent that I use, which is lavender, that helps me feel restful. And I think scents, because of that, are super important. So there we go. That's the final look. I think it's preppy, it's bright, it makes me feel really nice. Even on a day that I'm PMSing and that I don't feel great, this makes me feel a lot better. So we're off, we're ready to go for a long day of meetings and then brunches. And yeah, thank you, Pinkvilla, for having me.